Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at the current rank 1 in the world team for the Fossil Cup. It's going to be a double Mudboy team with Mantine in the elite. Congrats to the player as well. Of course, are linked in the description as well. You're going to have a team here with Mantine in the lead, trying to beat those grass type Pokemon in the meta, having the say swap of the Quagsire, where I am not too sure about the movesets of the Pokemon themselves, because I have no idea about Japanese. I think it's a player from Japan. So yeah, don't really know about this. But anyway, we're going to take a look here at the standard movesets for all the Pokemon for this kind of meta. I think maybe Ice Beam on Mantine is actually more standard. I'm not too sure about it, but at the end of the day, it does not really matter too much. We're going to have here the Mawile actually from the opponent, which is an interesting Pokemon that I think actually has quite a lot of potential in this meta. I didn't actually think about it. Mawile would have the potential of destroying Escavalier plus like something like a Lucario, like a Ferrothorn. Actually, cool idea for sure. Definitely a cool idea. Do you still want to see content for Fossil Cup? Let me know down below in the comment section. Anyway, we're going to see here already in the first battle, the opponent is going to try their best still against our Mantine, but we still have a Mudboy in the back. Double Mudboy is actually quite an interesting play for the current meta. Kind of similar to what Mawile is supposed to do, our Mudboys are supposed to counter those Steel-type Pokemon, and there are quite a lot of them in the current meta, and a lot of times people are prepared to deal with one Mudboy, but not with two Mudboys, and that is kind of why this team definitely works out quite well. Here we saw already the Lantern definitely did not have the greatest time against our Quagsire, but also now the opponent's Escavalier doesn't have a way better time either. We actually going to be even able to get a shield here from the opponent as well, very likely, as they're gonna very likely kind of rather want to realign themselves. As the Mud Bomb is coming through, they're gonna use a shield here, and I can go ahead and go into my Mantine afterwards, which is going to be able to hardwall the opponent. Best thing they can go for is either the Mega Horn, which is a resisted move, which nobody is running, or the Aerial Ace here, and so we can get out of there with a ton of energy, and they have another Pokemon weak to the ground typing. So we're gonna be able to go ahead and go for that Mud Bomb here, getting nearly a knockout against the Lucario, but they're gonna go down anyway, and they're gonna forfeit this battle. Escavalier in the lead, that's going to be quite a decent one for us. Again, counter is going to be resisted, they swap out into the Golduck. Golduck, actually a very cool Pokemon for this meta. Shadow Golduck having access to the move Cross Chop, being a cool save up in the current meta. A lot of times you can bait out something like something like the Ferrothorn, which you usually would not beat as a water type Pokemon, but with the move Cross Chop you have at least some super effective coverage against them. And honestly, after the buff of Cross Chop, this Pokemon definitely is going to be a bit better here as well, giving me some struggles as well here in the beginning, but we are going to be able to at least align ourselves. And here we're gonna take a look at the one big problem for this team. It is Ferrothorn. We are running a triple water line where one Pokemon at least is not weak to the grass typing itself, which is the Mantine, but we have two Pokemon that are double weak to grass typing, and Mantine is double weak to electric, and we have a Pokemon here that learns thunder, and it is not an ideal play for us. So yeah, now we're gonna be 2 shields down. The opponent still has their Ferrothorn here, and I don't know how to win this battle, but let's see if we can still do something. They at least only have the Power Whip here, which is kind of important, as in comes now the Escavalier. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for another charge move. It is going to be the Water Pulse, which is gonna get shielded up. I can swap onto my Whiscash, hope for the Scald debuff. They're of course going to be able to outspeed me here because they had a few fast moves advantage before. Drillrun are not going to do enough damage here, but if we get the debuff, maybe we actually still have a chance here of winning this battle, because we could maybe farm them now afterwards, but we don't get the debuff. I actually don't think I ever got a debuff of Scald, by the way, but yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna see the Drillrun coming through. We can go for the farm down here, but sadly they still have one Pokemon left. It is not unbeatable though, so like it's not that Ferrothorn is a Pokemon that is completely breaking your team immediately, but it's by far definitely the worst Pokemon that he could encounter with his team. Sensation, on the other hand, here is definitely something that we can deal with our backline, but also if we have energy on our lead. Jellicent can be also a little bit tricky. We don't have a clear answer to Jellicent, but we're also not clearly weak to Jellicent either. Every Pokemon is kind of neutral for this Pokemon here as well, so like it is not the not the worst matchup at all. We could use a shield here if we wanted to, aligning ourselves afterwards, but we'll rather let the move go through. It's actually going to be the Shadow Ball, and I decided to go ahead and go for the full farm down now against the opponents. Very likely going to be another Shadow Ball, but I'd rather keep the shield advantage for myself. As you're gonna see here, the opponent is gonna go down now from that wing attack. We have a ton of energy and they're going to have a Lantern in the back, which is not ideal, but honestly, we're going to have now 2 Pokemon. They're weak to our Whiscash, and that is going to be a little bit better at least. You're gonna see the Sensors coming in. We definitely know how much energy they need. We also know that they're gonna try to very likely CMP tie against me here afterwards, which we are not gonna do. We're just gonna overfarm by a little bit more. And honestly, I don't think at this point the opponent has any play, because even if they're gonna knock me out eventually with that Lantern, they're gonna be ending up in a scenario where 2 Water Pulses are going to be enough to knock them out, and we have basically 100 energy on our Mantine, so we are in a perfect position basically. We can even overfarm here a little bit as well against the opponent's Sandslash. Go up to 2 charge moves, go up for a Mud Bomb here as well, knock them out, and in comes now the Lantern, which has to take a move straight away as well. I can actually, like, I don't know why overfarm that much here as well, that does not really make too much sense, but at least I can just go ahead, go for the Mud Bomb, and I can even play it a little bit fancy, trying to catch a move here, which I think maybe worked out, maybe not, we will find out shortly. The opponent is gonna have to take a Water Pulse though. It did actually not work out, but it doesn't matter, because another Water Pulse is coming through, is going to be able to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Well, let's see what they're going to run here. We're going to have a Jellicent against an Elite. Honestly, I can't wait until like Fossil Cup is over. We're going to have, I think, 2 weeks of Great League left for us for this season, so that's going to be an interesting one for sure. We're going to be able to now go up against that Jellicent and have our Quagsire swapping in. Of course, we're going to have an ABB style line, so what you kind of want to do is you kind of want to swap out eventually, keep your lead alive, just in case there's something in the back where you need your lead against. And here we're going to have the Ferrothorn. Maybe we're going to be able to win against this Pokemon this time around. For sure, Ferrothorn was the worst Pokemon that I was encountering, like for sure, but it is still not unbeatable. We're gonna let the move go through. We're gonna be able to at least use a shield here, I guess, and overfarm by quite a bit afterwards. It's going to be the Thunder coming in. We are going to be able to now go for at least 4 fast moves and now go for the Aerial Ace to knock them out. And we're still in a position where we at least have a lot of play in this matchup. We got rid of the Ferrothorn. In comes again the Jellicent. I can catch the move here. I would imagine they're kind of weak to me in the back, but I'm not too sure about it yet. Let's see what the opponent gonna do. They decide to stay in here. I can let the move go through again. I think it's just going to be a serve, but it is actually going to be the Shadow Ball, and so it is a bit more tricky. We have to rely on our Mantine, hope that we can win the battle with this Pokemon, but it is going to be the Lucario in the back. And yeah, here we just have to hope that they're running Power Punch and Shadow Ball. That's our only way of winning this one. Or if we would have went for the Water Pulse there. But a great play by the opponent to predict that I would go for the bait move here kinda. And so they're sadly going to be able to go for 2 charge moves. Again, I have to hope that they have Power Punch instead, which they don't. And so sadly they're going to win this battle. Next opponent coming up, we're going to have the Poliwrath in the lead. That's going to be very decent for us, especially as I'm going to swap out now into the Jellicent. We can get some damage onto them and hopefully realign with the Pokemon that we're going to swap into now, which is going to be the Quagsire. We can go for the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb is going to charge up quite fast, but we could also try to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge. As you can see here, I decided to use a shield because I really need alignment. Now, of course, the opponent going to go for the hardest hitting move in the beginning, but now we are going to be able to hit that Stone Edge just for them to survive with a 1 HP and still getting up to another Shadow Ball, which is quite unfortunate. If we would have basically knocked them out there, we would have been in such a great spot. But it's still going to be okay because at least we have alignment. Alignment is key here. We can still get at least 2 Mud Bombs off against the opponent. This should be plenty of damage for them to go down basically from a few wing attacks. So let's see. Mud Bomb coming through. Going to do a lot of damage, putting them into the red health as we can try to go for the full farm down. This is hopefully going to be enough, but they're going to have in the back the Ferrothorn again, and so yeah, like this is going to be a tough battle to come back from. I doubt it is possible, but let's find out. Maybe we still have a chance here. Who knows? We are going to be forced to go for no shield, I think. I think we have to rely on to our Mantine at this point. We are 1 shield down. We are forced to use a shield eventually, but I'm gonna let the move go through, and it's actually going to be the Power Whip, and with this we actually still have some play. We can go for the Aerial Ace now. This is going to be able to hopefully get the shield from the opponent. Let's find out. He is going to get the shield, and we can go for another Aerial Ace afterwards, which is very likely going to get the shield here from them. Let's find out. Yes, we're going to get the shield. They are going to be shieldless now, and we can try to reach another move in time. Here's the thing why I didn't go for it. I think the Bullet Seed is doing actually way less damage than Counter does. Honestly, I should have went for another fast move before that, but we just get kind of running out of health here, and so again, Ferrothorn kind of is our demise. Moving on, now we're going to have the Sand Slash against us in the lead. Again, very good for our backline, so we swap out straight away and get out the opponent's Jellicent. If we go for 2 Stone Edges, we're most likely going to be able to knock them out with that as well, so we're going to try to do exactly this. Stone Edge is coming through, is going to be able to get a ton of damage onto them, and we will try our best to let the move go through. It's going to be a Surf, that's going to be great. And now we are going to be forced to go for a shield because I really would like alignment and I really would like to get the shields of the opponent. And so we're gonna get up a ton of energy now. Like we have 2 Mud Bombs stored. The opponent is very likely there's another Surf here, and so we're just gonna go for another shield. And now we are in a little bit of a tougher spot because we are 2 shields down, the opponent still has 2 shields left. We're gonna have access to 2 charge moves here, and one of them is going to be Stone Edge, which is gonna try to hit that Mantine from the opponent. Now knowing the entire team of the opponent, I'm very confident that we're going to be able to win this battle because he can still go for this next Stone Edge. This is going to be able to do a ton of damage against them on the CMP tie, and now it's down to our Mantine and our Whiscash in the back to win this battle. We can swap out, get the Whiscash onto the Sand Slash, and now of course Mud Bomb is going to be super effective. We can try to take a drone here as well. As you can see, we're going to be able to take 2 of them, and so this is going to be a very favorable matchup for us. The opponent has no way of going back here. Basically, you're going to be able to win this game here at all, and we're going to be able to take this hit, or is there still a way for them to win this one? Because they won the CMP tie here now. We're going to be in a position where they can fully farm me down. I tried to undercharge, of course, a bit, but like doesn't really matter anyway. And now the only way that we can still win is to try to farm them down afterwards, and we hope that we can survive those aerial aces that are coming through now after us as well. They still have a shield left, so our best play is to just to try up to go for 2 aerial aces so we don't throw anything before we get there. We're gonna try to go up to another one, and we can go for the full farmland in time, and we can move on to the next opponent. Togedemaru, perfect for our backline, really bad for our lead. We can swap out straight away. We didn't want to go for the extra fast move, but yeah, the game sometimes is a little bit weird as well, just to get hardwalled by a Ferrothorn. I'm asking the opponent here right now, what are you gonna do to a fighting type lead? I'm not too sure about it. I don't think the opponent is either. Like literally Escavalier would completely destroy the opponent at this point already, but maybe they're going to have the best answer for fighting types in the back. Very likely going to be a Jellicent if you ask me here. But yeah, we're going to be able to go for another Mud Bomb, at least maybe get the shield here, maybe get a lot of damage onto them. We're going to get the shield back, which is kind of okay. And so our best play is very likely to just let the move go through, go into our Mantine, try to go for maybe an aerial ace in time. Let's find out. Yes, we can. And so now it's down to what they have in the back. It has to be like a Jellicent at this point. Like honestly, you have 2 fighting type like weak Pokemon, and it is actually the Jellicent in the back that at least makes a little bit of sense. So I guess you try to sacrifice your lead if you're going to encounter like a fighting type Pokemon. I guess so. Like I guess it's the play to go. Maybe actually working out for them. Thunder Shock definitely generates energy quite fast, which makes Wild Charge a very deadly move to go for on that Togedemaru, but yeah, the opponent is going to be able to align themselves nearly perfectly. We can still try to go for a Mud Bomb. Our only play is to try to catch a move maybe. They're going to decide to use a shield. I am forced to use a shield now as well. But at the end of the day, if they play it clever, there's nothing I can do here. Like if they play it clever, there's nothing I can do. The opponent is going to decide to swap out into the Togedemaru. They're going to go for a charge move, and they're very likely at 2 of them right now as well. Wild Charge is coming through. We can go ahead and try to go for a Mud Bomb, but yeah, they have a move stored, and so sadly it's going to be a good game. Final battle for today, let's find out what they're going to have in the back. They're going to have a Quagsire here in the lead. That is going to be a very solid lead for me, but of course, again, they're going to have access to the move Stone Edge. Being super effective against us, we have to be a little bit careful about it, especially for ABB style lines. You really want to preserve your lead, as we are going to be able to go ahead and go for that Water Pulse, doing quite a lot of damage against them. We're gonna try to maybe catch the next Stone Edge onto our own Quagsire, which is going to work out. For Stone Edge, be sure to catch it after 6 for the second one. It is 7 for the first one in terms of fast moves and 6 fast moves for the second one. So here we're able to catch the move. We're able to get out the opponent's Poliwrath as well, which can kind of punish with the Mud Bombs. They're forced to go for a charge move. If it's an Ice Wind, we might be even able to survive. We are able to survive this one, and so we can go for another move, which might allow us to fully farm them down with our Mantine. I think this is going to be our best bet. Just go for the full farm down here. The opponent goes for the Icy Wind, that's totally fine, but we end up with nearly 100 energy on our Pokemon, and that is going to be quite good for us. We're gonna see here now as well, where you can swap Oh, we don't swap out. We're gonna have here the Registry against us, which is going to be kind of fine because we have another Mud Boy. Mud Boy is going to be great for us. We're gonna try to go for the Mud Bomb. Very likely gonna get the shield from the opponent here because they have to rely on their Registry at this point. But if they're gonna try to swap out at any point, we should be in a very good spot. We can use a shield. Focus Boss is coming in. And the swap out into the Quagsire where we can actually go for the full Mud Shot down. The opponent is low enough for us to do this, and we see here they don't have Awkward Tail as well, and so we have now a ton of energy and the opponent has nowhere to go. We can just go for the Mud Bomb spam and we should be good. The opponent is gonna let the first move go through. I can go for another one afterwards, and I should be even able to outspeed them to the last one. And so this is going to be it for this battle. Mud Boy is going to be overpowered here. There's 2 Mud Boys in the back, and we can just go for the final Mud Bomb of the video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and congrats to rank 1 in the world with this team. And yeah, see you then. Bye bye.